The EA Sports Team Builder is incredible, and it gives you the most customization and creativity options of any sports game ever. So today, in this video that's sponsored by EA, I'm gonna walk you guys through every single option and feature within the Team Builder so that you guys can start turning your dream teams into reality. And a quick note, guys, the Team Builder I'm using is still a beta, and the team at EA is working hard to add even more features and functionality. All right, guys, now this is the page that you're gonna see when you get into the Team Builder. And there are so many different awesome options and menus and endless different possibilities for customization so that you can build the exact team that you want. We're gonna go through each and every option that you guys have. So the very first thing we're gonna do is start with school info in the upper left, and it's gonna be exactly what you would expect. Team name, team nickname, team abbreviation, city, and state. And because I'm not the most creative person, I wrote a ChatGPT prompt to give me an example team. When I told it I wanted it to be something related to geese, and so I'm gonna go ahead and fill all this out. And I even had it make me a little logo, and I'll put that prompt in the description of this video if you guys are like me and not the most creative and want ChatGPT to give you some values for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in right here. And as I was filling this out, guys, I was reminded that for the team name or the school name, you don't need to put college or university because you'll actually run out of characters. So you can see right here that after UNI and university, I'm actually out of characters. So just go ahead and put whatever the name is of the college or university without actually putting the word college or university. So that's the school info. That is pretty straightforward. Now let's get to one of the really fun things about designing your team, the logos. And so you have a primary logo, a secondary logo, and a tertiary logo. And if you hit this plus button right here or view all, it'll do the same thing. It'll bring up a huge menu of different logos that you can do. Maybe you want to be the Tigers or the Bengals, or you want to be the Huskies, or you want to be the Devils. You have a ton of different options for different logos that you can choose that are already made. But the extra cool thing that I think you guys are going to be really excited about is that you can actually upload your own logo. Now, there are a few rules. It can't be offensive, it can't infringe on any intellectual property rights, and it can't reveal information about you or any other person. But as long as it's within those rights, you can upload your own custom logo. And I would use the golden geese logo that ChatGPT made me. I'm gonna use my own spruce goose logo right here. And I actually wanna show you guys something with your custom logos. And if you're doing your own custom logo, you want it to have a transparent background. And so for comparison, I'm gonna upload another one that has a white background. If you have a white background, it's basically gonna make it look like your logo's in a white box. And that's not ideal. So you can actually see up here where it says Blackstone Golden Geese. This logo has a white background on it. That's the white background logo. But the transparent background logo, you can see it is just the logo. So you're gonna get a much cleaner image if you just do a transparent background logo. And there are websites that'll remove backgrounds from images for free. So you can use one of those, use Photoshop, something like that. But you're gonna get the best results for your logos, have them looking as clean as possible if it's a transparent background. So I'm happy with that as my primary logo. I'm gonna hit apply. And you can do the same thing for secondary and tertiary logos. Now, one thing, guys, is that you can't change the colors of these pre-made logos. So, you may want to make a pink Bengal tiger. Unfortunately, you can't do that, but there's still a variety of color options in here. And of course, you could probably just, download this image and change it to pink if you wanted to and re-upload it. So that's how you could get your pink Bengal tiger. But the next thing we should talk about is, of course, the colors. And so there's colors over here. And if I hit apply here, you also have colors as an option on our left menu as well. And so these are, you're gonna do the same thing, whether you do it on the right side or the left side, it's the same thing. And so if we go ahead and hit this plus button, we can choose any color we want for our different colors. And if I'm gonna stick true to my ChatGPT school, it says my primary color is gonna be dark blue, my secondary color will be black, and the tertiary color will be gold. So I need to do some dark blue. And so that looks like if I go down here, that looks pretty dark blue. Okay, so far so good. You can of course mess with the hue, the saturation, and the brightness. But I think that that's probably pretty good for dark blue. My secondary, I'm gonna go ahead. Don't forget to hit apply, guys. I've been doing that a couple times, forgetting to hit apply. So when you change your color on the left side at the bottom here, go ahead and hit apply. That'll lock in the color that you chose. I'll go ahead and choose black right here. And then what was that third color? Was it gold? Yeah, it was gold. So I'll hit the plus again for the tertiary color, and I'll probably drag this over into the yellow region. And that's a little yellowish. So maybe if I make it just a little darker, yeah, we'll call that gold. And we'll go ahead and hit apply. So now we have our colors right here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna change my secondary logo to my goose logo, just so I have some consistency throughout. And a little thing, guys, is the secondary and tertiary logos, they will appear a little more saturated. You can see that there's kind of a difference in the coloration here, but it's just a visual thing that they're gonna get fixed. Whatever shows on your primary logo is what your actual logo will look like in the game. So now we've talked about the school info, logos, and colors. Let's talk about the apparel brand, and this is pretty straightforward. Adidas, Nike, Under Armour. You can choose whatever you want. You can also choose it on the right side as well, but over on the left side is where you'll actually make your selection. We'll stick with Nike. Finally, we have fonts, and you can select your nameplate font and your number font. And so I think I'm going to kind of keep these the standard, but you have a ton of different options for your numbers. I like these as it is. And so that completes the very first tab, which was brand. I didn't mention that at the beginning, guys. That's my bad. But we were in the brand tab. That's what you'll be in by default when you start. I'm going to go ahead and save. And that way we don't lose anything. All right. And now that we are saved, we can go ahead to the next tab, which is going to be the uniforms. And this, again, is just something that people are going to absolutely love how much customization they have with it. So if we go to our home uniforms first, you can see that we have a helmet here. And guys, you can just click and drag around and you can look at the helmet from all directions. It's super cool. Like I did not expect to have this much functionality. It's awesome. You can choose your helmet style over here, which is, you can choose to have a single stripe on the middle, double stripes, thick double stripes. Now you guys can see you have a ton of different options and even more options when you click view all. And personally, I'm kind of a classic guy. I kind of like the solid helmet with the logo on the side. And so the next thing you can do is you choose the reflectiveness, which is matte, shiny, or chrome. And so the chrome, you can really see the light reflecting off of the helmet. And oh man, I like them both. I like the matte, shine. I like all three. We'll go with chrome though. I mean, guys, you can do so much stuff. It's crazy. Let's do custom layers now. And guys, this is just the helmet. We haven't even gotten to jersey, pants, and socks yet. This is just the helmet right here. And right here, this is where if you have that custom logo, guys, you can go ahead and click on this. It was like a pencil right there. And you can go ahead and choose your same logo from before. And guys, this is why I mentioned the difference between having a white background and a transparent background. If you have the white background, it's not going to look that good. It's going to kind of look like something was just kind of like, glued onto the helmet. But if you have a transparent background, all of a sudden that graphic really looks like it's painted on there. But of course, you can also rotate the logo in any orientation you want. And let me try to, 0 I think is the default. You can move it left or right. And so I'm going to definitely move that, back a little bit so it's not on the face mask. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. And so you just drag the X and Y down. Maybe I'll move it back forward a little bit. Well, that's got to be a little bit bigger. How about right there? What do we think? Oh, and also the other thing is that you can have the placement so that it's right, which is just be on the right side, left, so it's just on the left side. You can do mirrored, which means it'll be facing the same direction, so it'll just be mirrored on the other side. I think I prefer duplicate so that it looks the same on both sides. And then you can also just put it on the back as well, but that's, at least for my logo, that's a little bit glitchy looking. So I'm just going to do duplicate and then make sure I position it properly. Maybe move it up a little bit. All right, guys, I actually figured it out. I led you astray a little bit with the duplicate. So if we look at the top angle here, and sorry guys, I'm learning this with you. If we look at the top angle here, moving left and right is going to shift these around so that they're always exactly opposite of each other. But if you want to be able to actually move them both forward or both back at the same time, you gotta go with mirrored, okay? So right here, see how we can move them both forward or both backwards? You're gonna want mirrored in that case. So I'm on mirrored now. I'm gonna go ahead and move it back a little bit and up a little bit, and we'll say, yeah, we'll say that's good right there. And now it's in the same spot on both sides of the helmet. And so I apologize for leading you guys a little bit astray on that. Let's go ahead and hit apply. Now you guys also have the option to add a custom layer, which basically means you can add another logo. So if I hit add custom layer, I can go ahead and add my logo once again, and it will show up right there and say maybe this one we want to put on the back, or maybe actually if we go ahead and move it up enough, we could put it on the top. We could scale it down a bunch. And you guys can actually do these custom layers. You can do it 7 times. So I think this is my custom layer 2. So I could add 5 more different images and place them wherever I want all over the helmet. And so you guys have so much customization. It's so cool. Oh, and of course I forgot that you actually can also mess with the reflectiveness of the logo as well. I'm actually using the mouse wheel to scroll in closer right now, but this is glossy for the logo. We can do matte, we can do satin, or we can do chrome, but I think the glossy looked pretty good. But so that's, again, that's not the helmet, that's the logo itself. And in this case, because I'm on custom layer 2, it's just gonna change it for that. If I hit apply, then I can go back out and click on the very first one I did, and I could mess around with the reflectiveness of these logos. But again, the chrome does look pretty sick. You can see the whole field reflected in that logo right there. That's pretty awesome. However, I do like the glossy, so I think I'm gonna stick with the glossy on that. But geez, that chrome looks sick, guys. That's really cool. But we're gonna go ahead and hit apply to save that. And that is how you can customize logos and other graphics on your helmets. If we go down to numbers, you can of course choose to put numbers wherever you want. Right now I have none, but you can choose to put them on the front. You see this little 88 right here, and you can of course change the color. So now it's a lot easier to see. You can choose, just like before, you can choose your the primary colors, or the primary, secondary, and tertiary colors that you set. You can also go and choose any custom color. So we'll put red numbers right there, because why not? And then same thing, you have a position 2, which is numbers on the back. I'm going to keep those off. We'll just stick to numbers on the front. And of course, you can also mess with the spacing. I would not recommend narrower, because that's 88 and it's on top of each other. I also wouldn't recommend too wide either, but it's your helmet. You can do whatever you want. I think where they've got on default is probably the right place to keep it, in my opinion. And there is also, guys, if you really want, there's advanced placement where you can just scale it however you want. You can move it up and down. You can put it off to the side if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and put that back on. Oh, I thought 0 would center it. So this is gonna be a little bit off centered. You can always hit cancel as well, guys. If you're not sure what you did, you can always hit cancel. Okay, 1.5 was perfectly centered, but actually I'm gonna scale it down a little bit, have that number be a little bit smaller. Let's put it right there. Yeah, I think I like that. Go ahead and hit apply to save. And that is how you can do the numbers. And of course, you can also change the font style if you want. But I kind of like the default. I really think it's a cool look for the numbers. But that is how you can do the numbers on your helmet. And then the final option is accessories. And so you can mess with the face mask color. You can mess with the strap color. So maybe I want a gold face mask and I want a black strap. We can do that. You got the cup color. You can make it red, or again, any color you want. All of these, again, there's reflectiveness settings, whether you want glossy, matte, satin, or chrome. You can do so much. The front bumper image, that's this EA logo right here. You can choose to turn that on or off. You can choose any of our regular stock logos, but of course I'm gonna go ahead and choose my own logo and make sure I get the transparent background and hit apply. And so you guys can see that you can do so much with these helmets. And don't forget, guys, this is just the home helmet. You can do this exact same thing with the away helmet as well. Same thing, EA logo back here. I'm just putting my logo everywhere, man. Might as well. And then same thing, glossy, matte, satin, or chrome. We've got advanced placement as well. And so maybe I want to scale that down a little bit, make that nice and small. Not gonna rotate. That'd be kind of funky. So we'll go ahead and put that back to 0. But that's a good scale. And maybe I'll scale down this front one as well with the advanced placement. So I'll scale that down just a little bit. Hit apply. And yeah, those are my home helmets, guys. And so I'm not going to go through doing it for away, but of course it's the exact same thing if you want for the away side. And you could even use these camera controls if you want to look at it exactly from the front, exactly from the back, exactly from the left or the right. You can do that. Personally, I think it's easiest just to click with it on the mouse and just kind of drag wherever you want. But you have those camera controls on the left side as well. We'll stick to doing the home uniform though. We won't worry about away right now. And so that is everything for the helmet. Let's move on to the jerseys. And as you guys can guess, there is again just endless customization in here. The base color of the jerseys, whatever you want it to be, just like always. The color of the brand logo right there. For us, that's gonna be the Nike swoosh. The jersey stitch. There's a couple different options, and it's kind of tough to really tell too much. And also, let me zoom in for you guys real quick. And so what that says on here is Vapor Fuse, Vapor Untouchable 1, and Vapor Untouchable 2. And then for the sleeve design, you've got these different options as well. And they're going to make this a little bit easier to see because I had to zoom in pretty far to be able to see those. But just like with everything else, there are tons and tons of different customization options. And hopefully, and not too long, these will be a little bit bigger and a little bit easier to read. I'm just going to use the default sleeves, honestly. But you can mess with the cuffs. You can mess with, well, in this case, only 4 different kinds of cuff. But you saw the sleeves had, gosh, it's like 20, 25 different kinds of sleeve designs. Only one collar design right now, but they will be adding, I'm pretty sure, adding more options for that as well. We can come down to the nameplate. And as always, you can choose what font you want. I like the default font. You can choose the color. And I don't know. Yeah, what do you guys think? Yellow for the last name. We've been mixing in some red and yellow, even though those weren't supposed to be part of my colors. But now I gotta kind of make it stand out a little bit. Numbers, same thing. You can choose the font. You can choose the spacing. I think the default spacing they've got is pretty good. You can, of course, choose the color. Same thing as always, glossy, matte, satin, chrome. I think glossy looks the best, but obviously do whatever you want. Advanced placement, like always, you can scale these as small or as big as you want. You can move them up or down as much as you want. Gosh, that would be numbers on the belly. That'd be kind of funky, wouldn't it? Let's go ahead. 1.5 is the default for these. Actually, I kind of like them. Yeah, kind of have them up here or something. But guys, literally you can just put them anywhere you want. And then just like before, custom layers, you can add your own. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and here hit that pencil again. I could add my own logo, and now we've got, we've got our logo once again, and we can rotate it. We can move it left or right. We can move it up and down. And so in this case, it looks like we're just putting it on the sleeves right here. I wasn't sure if you could put it on the middle here, but it looks like you're just replacing the EA logo on the side, which makes sense. It looks like you can't put your logo where the numbers are, but you can still put your logo or any logo that you want where the sleeves are. So I'm gonna go ahead and just scale that down real quick. And I think that's looking pretty beautiful, I'd say. Let's go ahead and hit apply. And guys, that is how we do the jerseys. And don't forget, this is just home jerseys. You can do this exact same thing for your away jerseys. Let's go to pants. And I think that we're just gonna have to stick with the trend now of replacing the EA logo with this. You guys are gonna be so sick of seeing this goose logo all over me, but I'm committed to it now. Same thing as always, guys. You can choose the color of the pants. You can choose the color of the belt. You can choose the color of the brand logo. You can, I mean, you can choose anything you want. There's 3 different pants designs: Vapor Fuse no panel, Vapor Untouchable no panel, and Vapor Untouchable with panel. Okay, and so if I look at each of those, wait, let me try that again. You can see they don't look that different, but you still have the options if you want. I'm going to stick with the base ones, and then let me zoom in and look at the different options for the pants as well. It's going to be some combination of panel and different stripes and everything like that. And so you guys like stripes on the side, go for it. Again, I'm a simple guy. I like the base look. I like the clean, classic looks. But guess what? They're your pants, and you can do literally anything you want to them. But that is your different options for pants. And finally, we have the socks. Same thing as always. You guys are probably starting to get a feel for it already. You got the base color, you got the brand color, you got the under sock color. You know, I'm just choosing random colors, but you guys get the drill. You do this for home, you can do this for away, and when you're all done, guys, you can preview your uniform and see the beautiful creation that you've made. And I would say I think I've really outdone myself this time. So wow, that's actually way better than I expected to come out. So that is how you do your customizing of the uniform. I'm going to go ahead and hit save once again so we don't lose our hard work. And it's going to take a minute to do that. And with the uniforms done, we can now go to the other most exciting part of the team builder, which is the stadium. So the very first thing you're going to do is name your stadium. And I'm just going to call it the Goose Nest. And then for the architecture, you can choose between any of the 134 FBS schools to use as like your base stadium. And I went to Georgia Tech, so I'm going to go ahead and find Georgia Tech right here. About 15 years ago, I used to be sitting in the front row of that student section right there. Good times. Anyway, that is the stadium. You choose the base stadium right there. And then you can go ahead and choose the crowd as the next tab. And this is choosing the colors of the crowd, like the clothes that people will be wearing in the crowd. So like if you wanted it to always look like a Penn State whiteout, you would go ahead and just choose like white for your color, hit apply. And then for your color crowd balance, you would just move this slider all the way over towards the white. And that would just mean it's like an overwhelming majority of people wearing white. Or if you wanted a blackout, you could do the exact same thing, but move it towards the black side. You can do it with all red. If you want half yellow, half red, or half gold, half red, then just choose those as your 2 colors and just put that color balance thing in the middle. And again, that's just choosing what colors you want the crowds to be wearing, or the home crowd to be wearing at your home games. For the surface, we have turf or grass. I'm going to go ahead and choose grass, and you can customize the turf if you want. If you want to be Boise State with a blue field, you can do that. Personally, I'm going to go ahead and choose a more natural color. But the Boise State blue field, that hurts my eyes after a little while, man. But you guys can do it if you want. Logos. This is what's really cool, guys, is that same custom logo we've been using, you can put it on midfield. Well, you do have the option to just turn off the midfield logo, but I don't think that's any fun. I think it's a lot more fun to take your custom logo and slap it on the middle. And guys, just one more time, this is the difference between having the transparent background and not, because look at how clean that midfield logo is going to look if you have the transparent background. So I'm going to go ahead and hit apply. And then, of course, advanced placement, just like we've seen. We can rotate it, even though I don't think it'd look good having a diagonal logo on midfield. But we can scale it up. You can make that as big as you want. That's a little obnoxious, but maybe we'll do it right there and hit apply. Secondary logos, you can go ahead and turn those off or on. And so you can see that these are the secondary logos that are kind of like on the 25-yard line. You can actually choose, do you want it on the 25 or on the 20? You can do either one. I'll go ahead and do the 20. Same thing, you have all these different options for the different logos. I'm not going to do the Bengal Tiger. I'm going to go ahead and, of course, do my same logo. Wait. Oh, maybe you can't do your custom logo for the secondary logo. Looks like I'm missing that. So maybe we'll just stick to having the EA logo. So, okay, so you cannot do your main logo. You can only do something else as a secondary logo. That's okay. You can, of course, choose the color of the secondary logos right here. And we'll just we'll keep it at gold. You got the advanced placement like always if you want to scale them up or down or rotate them, even though that'd be kind of weird. And you can hit apply when you've got all that made. Oh, and then custom layers, just like we've seen before with the custom layers, you can add extra logos if you want. So I could go ahead and add another logo right here. I could put it in the left end zone if I wanted. Or I could, move it left or right, up or down, rotate it any direction I want. Let me scale this a little bit. But yeah, if you wanted like your logo to be in the middle of the end zone or on like a corner of the end zone, you can do that with these custom layers. And again, you get 5 of the custom layers in this case. And so I'm gonna go ahead and choose this once again. And I think I tested this before, guys, and there's a little bit of they're still finishing the functionality of the extra layers. And so I think right now at launch, only 1 custom layer is working on the end zones, but just once they iron out all the wrinkles, you'll be able to do more custom logos. And so I could do that on both sides. But for the sake of symmetry right now, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the custom layers, and this is our beautiful field, and that is the logos. We can now do the end zones, and so you can choose the end zone pattern. And so first we're doing the left end zone, and of course you can do checkerboard, you can do lines, you can do a solid rectangle if you want. I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of like, well, let's do an empty end zone, and you can choose to mirror the right end zone as well. Or if you want different, you can, of course, choose your own option in the right end zone. You can choose your custom layer right here. And so this is kind of the same thing we saw before. And if you click left end zone, it'll just put it right there. What was I trying to? I was trying to move this, okay, down and up. So it's a little confusing, but it makes sense. So when it's rotated this way, left, right will actually move it up, down. And down, up will actually move it left, right because it's sideways. It's like, imagine if this was right side up, how would you move it? So down, up is actually going to be left, right, if that makes any sense. Oh, and I just lost it. Where the heck did it go? Yeah, I don't know where it went, guys. So I actually had to use this reset button right here. If you ever lose it, or if you ever if it gets too out of hand, you can always just use the reset button right there. But that is my custom layer for the left end zone. And I'm going to go ahead and add another custom layer for the right end zone, and we'll see if it works. And unfortunately, okay, it's the same issue as before, that unfortunately only 1 custom layer is working right now. That's okay. They're going to have it working very soon. You can add as many custom layers as you want and have stuff all over your end zones. So next up is the numbers. And of course, we first have the font style. And I kind of like the top one. Maybe I'm just super traditional, but I really just like the default ones. But you can choose what color or what font you want for the numbers on your field, and you can choose every 10 or every 5 yards. Isn't LSU the only one that does every 5? I always like to joke it's because they have trouble counting, so they need to label every 5 instead of every 10. LSU fans, please don't hate me. I think every 10 looks a lot better. For the arrow position, which is just this arrow pointing which direction that they're going, you can choose to have the arrow top, center, or bottom. I think center looks by far the best. Just looks clean to me. The goal line G, you can choose to either have it or not have it. And if you have it, you can choose to, oh, so this is the fill, sorry, of all the numbers on the field, not just the goal line G. Maybe we'll go with, that's the outline. So that doesn't look so great. What do we want? Maybe we'll keep it gray and gray with a dark outline. That should be fine. But yeah, so you can choose the fill color of the numbers, the outline color of the numbers. The lines on the field, you can make them bright red if you really want to make my eyes hurt. But I think a white or a gray is gonna look pretty good. Let's make it white. And you can of course come down to here, and the 20-yard lines you can have be one color or two colors. And so if you make it like right here, we've got red. You can kind of see it's like a double line. If you make them the same color, like make them both gray, then it just kind of makes them look like a thicker line. But if you want a multicolor, then obviously choose two different colors. I'll make them the same color, kind of give them like the double line look. You can do the same thing on the 50, just kind of make it look thicker. Same thing with the goal lines if you want, or you can't make them thicker, but you can make them custom colors if you wanted to. And so actually, that might be more functionality that they're still finishing. So the goal line color, they're still working on, but once they have that functionality working, you'll be able to customize the goal line color. If we come to sidelines, you can choose to have different colored patterns all around the field, and of course, choose whatever colors you want for that. And I don't know. Do schools? I don't think I've been to a stadium where they've got this, but I do think it looks pretty cool. So maybe we'll just go ahead and do a little gold outline on all of that. And then if we do the benches, you can choose to have no border. You can choose to have all these different borders. I think I kind of like this basic one right here. Nothing too crazy, but you can of course you can make it with any of these shapes and any of these colors that you want. And once you have all of this, guys, so that's the same one. That's the starting screen. That is how you can customize your field. And so the final tab is going to be program. And this is where you can customize your actual team that will be playing on the field that you just made. And so the first thing is the offensive playbook. You can choose from all the team playbooks as well as all of the alternate playbooks. There's so many great playbooks in the game, guys, but personally, I actually love the Air Force playbook, the very first one. You've got so many fun triple option plays, and just I watched the Paul Johnson Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets run the flex bone, and the Air Force playbook is the closest to that, so I love it. But obviously, choose whatever playbook you want. Can't go wrong. Every playbook is a ton of fun. I'll choose a 3-3-5 for the defensive playbook. And then if you want, there's different presets for the skill level of the players. So if you choose Powerhouse, then on average, you're going to have decent players. Like your halfback is going to be decently strong, 6'2", 210. He seems kind of like a power back. But you're going to have decent speed receivers. These guys, 88, 91 speed. They're not going to all be 99 speed, but compare that to if you choose Cupcake. If you choose Cupcake, your wide receivers are going to be, there's an 82 speed guy in there. And I actually will say, the speed of course isn't everything, but just overall the players will be decently worse if you choose Cupcake versus Spread. And then all these are everything in between. Average Joes. Yeah, now you've got wide receivers who are, actually still 91 speed. Interesting. So I should probably be spending more time looking at the other stats besides speed, but we play football video games. We just look at speed above everything else. But what's really cool is that you also have the ability, guys, to customize every single player on this team. So if I wanted to take my halfback, Deron Diggs, and make him, if I want to make him 5'4" and 164 pounds, I can do that. But because he's so small, I could also just make him 98 speed. I can make him a junior. I could make him number 13, my favorite number. I can even change his appearance. I can even, if I want to make him, this color and choose between all these different faces for him, you can customize literally every person on the team in every single way. The only thing that you can't do is change his name. And I think that's because they don't want people to make inappropriate names and stuff, which is understandable. But besides that, you could make your entire team 6'8" and 400 pounds and like 99 speed if you want. You could make a super team, or you could do the opposite. You could just make your whole team 5'0" and 160 pounds and 5 speed. You can customize every single person on your roster to be whatever skills or whatever skill ratings, height, weight, handedness, number you want. You have full ability to control every single person on the entire roster. And so go crazy and just customize until your fingers fall off, because you could spend days building out the exact team you want. It is incredible. And so I think I'm going to go ahead and customize this team real quick. All right, so I just spent a minute or two customizing my team, and I think I did a pretty fair job. Tried to keep it as realistic as possible. And so, you guys will do the same thing. Just make your team realistic heights and weights and speed and everything. And once you're done with that and you're happy with everything, then we're going to go ahead and save our team. And once we're done saving, then the only thing left to do is hit submit. And when you hit submit, it'll show you your final product. You can rotate your jersey around and see the beautiful creation that you made. And I didn't actually do any away jerseys, unfortunately. So mine's gonna be completely blank, but that's okay. But we did do the home jersey, and you'll be able to preview your field again as well. So just go ahead and click on all these just in case. Always good to check your work one more time. And once you're happy with everything, guys, you're gonna go ahead and hit the submit button at the bottom of the screen. And by hitting that submit button, it is going to send it into the game where you can download it. And so I'm gonna let this do its thing. It's gonna take a minute while it actually creates all the assets and everything for you to download in the game. And so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, and then we're gonna hop into the game and check it out. So once you guys have submitted your team and launched the game, you're gonna go over to the Create and Share tab and click on the Download Center. And from this screen, the very first tab you'll be in is Schools. And from here, you wanna press Y if you're on Xbox, or triangle if you're on PlayStation, for search. This is how we're gonna find the school that we created. Now, because there's not that many, I can see mine already on the screen, but when you guys do this, the easiest thing to do is go to username and search for your username that you were logged in with on the Team Builder site. So for me, that was Spruce Goose TV. And so I'm gonna go ahead and search for that, and probably Spruce Goose will be good enough. So you do your search, and then it'll come up, oh, I was wrong. Make sure you do an exact search. Sorry about that. Spruce Goose TV, there you go. So do an exact search of your username, and you'll get the teams that you have created and submitted. And so I'll go ahead and choose the Blackstone Golden Geese. You can choose to preview it if you want. It'll download this preview, and you can kind of check out, their uniforms. You can kind of spin them around and check them out, see their home field, see their amazing stadium name and what schemes they run, as well as their amazing offensive uniforms as well. And then you can choose to go back out, or you can hit Y on Xbox or triangle on PlayStation to download it from here. And also from this screen right here, you could also just choose to download it straight away without even doing the preview. And so we are downloading it now. And now that the download is complete, we have the team downloaded, and all that's left to do is to go play with the team. So let's go to play now. And from this screen, you're gonna wanna press the right trigger on Xbox or R2 on PlayStation. And from all the different conferences, you'll see at the very bottom, it says Team Builder. And if you go to Team Builder, it will have your teams. Now, the Atlanta Geese, that was a team that I made earlier testing this out. So that was actually not the team we wanted. The Blackstone Golden Geese is the team that we want. And we'll go ahead and load up for a game with them. And let's see what happens. And we'll just we'll do noon kickoff at the Goose Nest. And so let's see how this looks. Now, there is no like stadium run-in. Like, the team doesn't run in because those were school specific, but you guys can see we got the logo on the field. It's looking incredible. We got the beautiful uniforms. I mean, dude, this is like a dream, guys. You can see my logo's on the Jumbotron. Let's go ahead and pause this and look at the replay. Well, let's go back to the play call screen. We got the logo on the scoreboard. I mean, I think this is just incredible. Look, it's got our logo on the pick a play thing. It's got our logo on the, like, guys, this is like what a lot of us have like dreamed of, is to be able to put your own custom logo in the game, to be able to customize literally everything. I don't care if my colors are completely all messed up. That's my logo on the Jumbotron and the golden geese and on the helmet in the actual game. I mean, this is like you can't make this up, guys. We've wanted this. We've wanted this for 15 years. To be able to put custom logos on and have it be crystal clear like that. I mean, that's insane. Let's try and get it in focus. Look at that. Look at how crisp that looks. Look at the reflection of the stadium, guys. I mean, look at the stitching on the jerseys. This is just like, this is honestly a dream come true for anyone who's ever played a football video game, any sports video game, and wanted to create a team. To be able to put your logo in the game and have it look this good and this real. I mean, and for me, again, this is, Georgia Tech is where I spent 5 straight years sitting in the front row of the student section right here, looking straight out at this field in this angle. And it is surreal. It is absolutely surreal to see my own custom logo at midfield and on the Jumbotron and just everywhere. And so, guys, the stadium builder, or the team builder, and everything that goes with it, creating the uniforms, creating the stadium, all the customization. I mean, EA really outdid themselves. I mean, I know we talked about there's a couple things that, the functionality they're still finishing up. But like, if this isn't enough customizability for you, then I don't think you're ever going to be happy, because you can choose the color and texture and position of just about every single thing you can ever imagine, and it looks gorgeous, guys. It looks absolutely incredible. And so that's the team builder, guys. I hope that you have as much fun with it as I have. Hopefully you'll make some better looking uniforms. I'm not much of a designer, so you guys will probably have some much nicer looking uniforms than I am, but this was also just kind of to show you guys all the different things that you can do with it. And so enjoy it, guys. This is one of the coolest things of the game, of an already awesome game. This is one of the absolute coolest things that you can do with it. And so enjoy the team builder, have fun. If there's questions, feel free to leave comments and I will answer them as best as I can. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Have fun making your teams. I'll catch you in the next video.